During the 90s, Helen Hunt was a ubiquitous presence. Her role in the enduring sitcom Mad About You made her a household name, and audiences couldn't get enough of her. However, since the show concluded in 1999, there's been a noticeable decline in her visibility. So, what happened to Helen Hunt? Let's take a look at why Hunt decided to avoid Hollywood superstardom and what she's been up to since stepping back from the limelight. Box office struggles. While it may seem like Helen Hunt has taken a step back from the spotlight, she hasn't exactly disappeared from the film scene since her heyday on Mad About You. It's just that many of her recent projects may have flown under the radar for some audiences. During the peak of her career, Hunt delivered memorable performances in blockbuster hits like As Good as It Gets, 1997, where her chemistry with Jack Nicholson charmed audiences worldwide, grossing almost $315 million. The disaster epic Twister, 1996, also showcased her talent, earning nearly $500 million at the box office. Following the conclusion of Mad About You, Hunt continued to shine in films such as What Women Want and Cast Away in 2000, both of which achieved significant success with global earnings of $375 million and $430 million, respectively. However, despite these early successes, Hunt's later filmography includes projects that failed to resonate with audiences. Films like The Curse of the Jade Scorpion, Dr. T and the Women, Bobby, and The Sessions struggled to capture the same level of acclaim or box office success. Perhaps the lowest point came with the release of Every Day in 2011. Despite marking Hunt's return to the screen after a 3-year hiatus, the film failed to gain traction, opening in just 3 theaters and grossing a meager $46,029 over 10 weeks before quietly fading away. Critics weren't kind to Then She Found Me. In 2007, Helen Hunt embarked on a new creative journey by stepping into the roles of director and star in the film Then She Found Me, an adaptation of Eleanor Lipman's novel. With her successful track record in dramedies like As Good as It Gets, many anticipated that Hunt would bring her signature charm and depth to the project. However, Then She Found Me failed to resonate with critics, marking a challenging moment in Hunt's career. Reviews, such as Karina Chocano's critique in the Los Angeles Times, were particularly harsh on Hunt's performance, describing it as a little too whiny, a little too angry to be very sympathetic. This criticism undoubtedly stung, highlighting the difficulty of balancing dual roles as director and lead actor. Christy DeSmith of the Minneapolis Star-Tribune also weighed in, offering a critique of both Hunt's direction and performance. DeSmith characterized the film's attempt at realism as lacking finesse and criticized Hunt's direction as heavy-handed. Additionally, DeSmith didn't hold back in assessing Hunt's portrayal of the protagonist, labeling her character as a devoted party pooper whose portrayal bordered on being grating to viewers. This double blow in reviews undoubtedly added to the disappointment surrounding the film's reception. Bobby didn't inspire the social commentary she'd hoped for. In 2006, Helen Hunt emerged from what she described as semi-retirement to take on a modest role in Emilio Estevez's directorial project, Bobby. Estevez's film depicted the events surrounding the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. Hunt, reflecting on the film's significance, expressed hope that it would offer her daughter a tangible connection to the historical moment. She envisioned that her daughter, upon watching the movie, would feel the weight of the narrative buildup leading to Kennedy's pivotal speech. However, critical reception of Bobby was far from favorable. Ty Burr of the Boston Globe criticized the film as a cry of socio-political agony that faltered with each scene, likening it to a freeway pileup. Cole Smithy, another critic, was even harsher in his assessment, denouncing the movie as a manifestation of Estevez's ego rather than a genuine tribute to Bobby Kennedy. Such scathing reviews may not have been directly targeted at Hunt, but they certainly didn't contribute to the triumphant Hollywood comeback she might have hoped for. Despite the film's mixed reception, Hunt's involvement underscored her ongoing commitment to projects that resonated with her values and beliefs. While Bobby may not have achieved the acclaim its creators envisioned, it stands as a testament to Hunt's willingness to engage with meaningful storytelling, even amidst the uncertainties of critical reception. It's hard to improve on Oscar Wilde. Before her roles in Bobby and Then She Found Me, Helen Hunt faced criticism for her performance in A Good Woman, an adaptation of an Oscar Wilde play. Despite Hunt's enthusiasm for the character and the film's potential, critics were less than impressed with her portrayal of the infamous seductress. In an interview with Paste magazine, Hunt expressed her excitement about the role, describing it as having a real heart and soul and offering the opportunity to embody a character she hadn't explored in a while. However, critical reception of her performance was far from favorable. Keith Phipps of the AV Club criticized Hunt's portrayal, remarking that she appeared embarrassingly out of place as the seductress, with her gestures and expressions evoking more of a kindly aunt than a femme fatale. Similarly, Moira MacDonald of the Seattle Times found Hunt's performance lacking, noting her flat delivery of lines and describing it as mystifyingly bad, a flaw that, in her opinion, undermined the entire film. Reviews like these may have contributed to Hunt's decision to step away from the spotlight or pursue other projects. Despite her talent and enthusiasm, the critical reception of A Good Woman highlighted the challenges of finding success in the demanding world of Hollywood. She's moved behind the camera. In recent years, Helen Hunt has been shifting her focus from acting to directing, a transition that has kept her busy behind the scenes. While her directorial efforts may not have garnered as much attention as her acting roles, they highlight her versatility and commitment to exploring new creative avenues. Hunt's journey into directing began with a few episodes of the hit sitcom Mad About You. However, it wasn't until 2007 with Then She Found Me that she made her debut as a feature film director. Despite mixed reviews for the film, it signaled her interest in expanding her repertoire beyond acting. Following a hiatus, Hunt returned to directing with a renewed vigor, primarily focusing on television projects. She has helmed episodes for a variety of popular shows, including Californication, Revenge, Life in Pieces, House of Lies, This Is Us, and Feud, Bet and Joan. In addition to her television work, Hunt directed her second feature film, Ride, in 2015. While the film received mixed reviews with a 48% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, it reflects her dedication to honing her craft as a filmmaker. She slowed down after her Oscar win. In an interview with The Daily Beast, Helen Hunt shed light on her career trajectory after the peak of her success in the late 90s, attributing her shift to a combination of factors, including her Oscar win for As Good as It Gets. According to Hunt, her Oscar win led to a deal at Sony, which prompted her to explore writing as a creative outlet. When I wasn't getting acting jobs all the time that I liked, I was writing and writing and writing. 10 years of that. That's how Then She Found Me happened, she explained. Despite facing challenges, she persisted in refining her screenplay, subtly rewriting it to align with the changing landscape of filmmaking. During this period, Hunt observed a shift in the industry, with studios becoming less inclined to finance the type of films she typically made. She expressed frustration with the economic dynamics at play, particularly regarding romantic comedies, a genre she wasn't particularly fond of herself. That's what I don't get, the economic thing, and the bankers famously don't read them. They'll say, Helen Hunt in a romantic comedy, you can have $3.4 million, she lamented, highlighting the disconnect between her creative vision and commercial viability. Ultimately, Hunt found herself at odds with the prevailing trends in filmmaking, reflecting a mutual disenchantment between her and the studios regarding the type of movies she was known for. She can afford to be choosy. Even before her film career skyrocketed, Helen Hunt eased her professional pace following the conclusion of Mad About You, and one plausible explanation could be quite straightforward. She's amassed a significant fortune. With substantial financial security, there's little pressure for her to continue working unless she genuinely desires to do so. According to the Celebrity Net Worth, Hunt's net worth is estimated to be around $55 million, a figure that includes assets like her Manhattan apartment, which was valued at $2.75 million as of 2011. Her financial standing received a substantial boost in May 1998 when she and her Mad About You co-star Paul Reiser negotiated pay raises from $250,000 per episode to a staggering $1 million per episode. Although this elevated pay grade was only in effect for the final season of the show, which ended the following year, the 22 episodes still translated to a hefty $22 million each for both of them. Coupled with earnings from Hollywood blockbusters, Hunt has amassed wealth beyond most people's wildest dreams. So, the next time you wonder why Helen Hunt isn't as ubiquitous in the industry anymore, the answer might simply be that she doesn't feel compelled to be. A personal loss. One of life's toughest challenges is grappling with the loss of a loved one, and tragically, Helen Hunt has faced this hardship firsthand. On December 17, 2016, Gordon Hunt, renowned director of cartoons and live-action television and father to Helen, passed away at the age of 87. According to The Hollywood Reporter, he had been battling Parkinson's disease prior to his passing. Gordon's influence in the entertainment industry was significant, particularly as he directed a substantial number of episodes of Mad About You, including 31 out of the series' total of 164. Notably, one of these episodes was the one depicting Hunt's character giving birth, adding an extra layer of significance to their professional collaboration, even if the childbirth was fictional. Reflecting on her father's legacy, Helen remarked, "If you asked 100 people who knew him, 100 of them would say he was the kindest man they ever knew." Even before his passing, she paid tribute to him in meaningful ways. For instance, dedicating her 2014 surfing film Ride to him, recognizing his lifelong passion for body surfing, which he had pursued actively since the 1930s until just a few years before his death. She's been dealing with a bad breakup. Breakups are a common occurrence, both within the glitzy world of Hollywood and in everyday life. However, in 2017, Helen Hunt surprised many when she decided to end her relationship with Matthew Carnahan, a producer with whom she had been romantically involved for a staggering 16 years. Their relationship, which began in 2001, saw a significant milestone in 2004 with the birth of their daughter, McKenna Leigh Gordon Carnahan. Despite the public perception of their relationship as being deeply affectionate, as reported by In Touch Weekly, the couple ultimately faced challenges they couldn't overcome. According to insider reports, the breakup was characterized as very messy. Interestingly, this wasn't the first time their relationship hit rocky ground. Sources revealed that there had been previous instances where Matthew had moved out, only for Helen to reconcile with him later. However, this time around, it seems the decision to part ways was final, indicating that even their shared love for their daughter couldn't salvage their relationship. She's been raising her daughter. On May 13, 2004, just before her 41st birthday, Helen Hunt welcomed her first child, McKenna, into the world. It was a significant milestone for Hunt, marking a shift in her priorities and a newfound focus on motherhood. The arrival of her daughter undoubtedly provided Hunt with a compelling reason to take a step back from the hustle and bustle of Hollywood life. Like many new parents, she likely wanted to devote more time and attention to nurturing and raising her child. As McKenna grew older, Hunt's role as a mother likely evolved, presenting new challenges and opportunities for bonding and growth. While the demands of parenting may have kept her away from the limelight in recent years, there's always the possibility that we may see more of Hunt in the public eye as her daughter grows older and becomes more independent. However, it's also important to consider the impact of life events, such as a breakup on family dynamics. As Hunt navigates the complexities of co-parenting and supporting her daughter through this transition, she may continue to prioritize her role as a mother over her career in the entertainment industry. With Makina being her only child, it's understandable that Hunt would want to prioritize her well-being and emotional needs above all else. Ultimately, Hunt's decision to maintain a low profile or return to the spotlight will likely be influenced by her ongoing commitment to motherhood and her desire to provide the best possible upbringing for her daughter. Only time will reveal the path that Hunt chooses to take as she continues her journey through parenthood. A passion for activism. As a woman and a mother, Helen Hunt has demonstrated a strong commitment to advocating for women's rights, both in her personal life and through her public platform. This dedication stems from a deeply personal connection to the cause, as evidenced by her ancestral ties to the fight for women's equality. In a revealing episode of NBC's Who Do You Think You Are? In 2012, Hunt delved into her family history and discovered that her great-great-grandmother played a significant role in the battle for women's rights. This revelation undoubtedly resonated with Hunt, igniting a passion for activism and advocacy that has since defined her public persona. Since learning about her ancestors' legacy, Hunt has been vocal about the importance of women's rights, particularly within the entertainment industry. In a 2015 interview with the Huffington Post, she candidly addressed the lack of substantial roles for older women in Hollywood, highlighting the systemic inequalities that persist in the film industry. Her outspokenness on this issue reflects her frustration with the prevailing norms and her determination to effect change. Moreover, Hunt has actively participated in movements and protests aimed at advancing women's rights and challenging gender discrimination. She notably joined the Women's March to protest the inauguration of Donald Trump, condemning his derogatory remarks about women and advocating for gender equality on a broader scale. While Hunt's acting career may have taken a back seat in recent years, her commitment to the fight for women's rights remains unwavering. Helen Hunt took some college courses. Despite having studied drama at university, Helen Hunt continued her pursuit of education into adulthood by enrolling in college classes. Taking one class per semester allowed her to further her knowledge while balancing her busy schedule. In a candid interview with Redbook in 2008, Hunt admitted her struggle with a philosophy class, expressing regret over her choice. She humorously described philosophy as the study of what one already knows, admitting it wasn't quite her cup of tea. Nonetheless, her dedication to continuing education while juggling responsibilities such as raising her daughter, acting in films, and directing is commendable. A few years later, Hunt revealed to MLive that her favorite teacher remained her father, who was an acting instructor. She fondly recalled his guidance throughout her upbringing, highlighting his enduring influence on her educational journey. Helen Hunt has become vocal about her politics. As Helen Hunt has aged, she's grown increasingly unafraid to voice her opinions, particularly on contentious political issues. She believes that in today's polarized society, speaking out is more crucial than ever. Reflecting on the state of discourse, she remarked to The Times that societal divisions have made certain debates almost futile. The onset of the pandemic, she noted, eliminated the option of avoiding political discussions, underscoring the urgency of addressing pressing issues like politics and vaccines. In 2018, Hunt lent her voice to a Democratic Party campaign video urging people to exercise their right to vote. Emphasizing the power of collective voices and votes to effect change, she stressed the importance of civic engagement. Additionally, she has been an outspoken supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement and a vocal critic of Donald Trump. Her big movie was pulled before it hit theaters. In 2017, Helen Hunt was poised for a return to the big screen, landing a significant role in a highly anticipated film by renowned filmmaker Louis C.K. Titled I Love You, Daddy, the movie bore a resemblance to the works of Woody Allen, featuring a black-and-white aesthetic and exploring complex themes. In the film, Hunt portrayed Aura, the ex-wife of the protagonist played by Louis C.K. and the mother of Chloe Grace Moretz's character. The anticipation surrounding I Love You, Daddy was palpable, with a star-studded premiere scheduled for November 9, 2017, in New York. However, just before the premiere, the event was abruptly canceled following the publication of sexual misconduct allegations against Louis C.K. by the New York Times. The allegations, brought forward by 5 women, prompted swift repercussions, including the shelving of the film's theatrical release. Louis C.K. subsequently repurchased the rights to the film, leaving its fate uncertain. As a result of these developments, I Love You, Daddy remains unreleased as of 2020, depriving Helen Hunt of an opportunity to showcase her talent in a high-profile movie role. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the challenges and complexities within the entertainment industry, where the actions of individuals can have far-reaching consequences for projects and those involved in them. She's been working in some low-key projects. Helen Hunt hasn't exactly stepped away from acting, especially in the realms where she's garnered significant success, feature films and broadcast television. With the stability gained from her long tenure on the highly popular and syndicated show Mad About You, she can afford to be selective about her roles, which might explain her relatively modest number of projects each year. Following her involvement in Shots Fired and the scrapped release of I Love You, Daddy, Hunt has appeared in around half a dozen projects. In 2018, she took on the lead role in The Miracle Season, a touching family film based on the true story of an Iowa high school volleyball team that overcame tragedy to win a championship. Hunt portrayed the team's coach, Kathy Bresnahan, but unfortunately the film struggled at the box office, earning only $10 million. Subsequently, Hunt starred in World on Fire, an expansive World War II miniseries that aired on both the BBC and PBS. Despite receiving praise from critics, the series didn't quite capture widespread attention or acclaim. Did cosmetic surgery affect her career prospects? Hollywood actors often face a tough dilemma as they age. In an industry fixated on youth and beauty, the natural signs of aging can become barriers to landing coveted roles. To maintain their place in the spotlight, some actors opt for cosmetic procedures to smooth out wrinkles, lines, and other signs of aging. However, these procedures don't always yield the desired results. Instead of enhancing their appearance, they can sometimes alter it to the point of being unrecognizable. Helen Hunt, a seasoned actress with a storied career, may have encountered such challenges. Speculation arose when observers, including analysts at Glamour Path, noted apparent changes in her face and neck. While Hunt hasn't confirmed undergoing any cosmetic surgeries, viewers of her miniseries World on Fire couldn't help but notice a difference in her appearance. Some found the change distracting, potentially affecting their enjoyment of the show. The world didn't go mad for a new Mad About You. In November 2019, Helen Hunt reprised her role as Jamie Buckman in the beloved TV sitcom Mad About You. The show, which originally aired on NBC and garnered Hunt numerous awards, returned for a revival, riding the wave of nostalgia that brought back other 90s favorites like Twin Peaks, The X-Files, and Roseanne. The new season, consisting of 12 episodes, explored Jamie and Paul Buckman's life as empty nesters grappling with the void left by their child's departure for college. Despite the anticipation surrounding its return, Mad About You version 2.0 failed to capture the same magic as its predecessor. Critics gave it a lukewarm reception, with a mediocre 42% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Adding to the challenge was its distribution on Spectrum Originals, a relatively obscure network associated with a cable company, making it difficult for fans to access. Despite Helen Hunt's efforts to satisfy viewers' desires for more Mad About You, it seems audiences weren't as eager for the revival as anticipated. Her controversial meeting with a dictator. In 2017, Helen Hunt found herself embroiled in an international controversy after agreeing to participate in the World Youth Forum held in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. As a prominent celebrity, she was invited as a keynote speaker for the event's opening ceremony. On the surface, her involvement seemed innocuous, if not commendable, given the forum's purported mission to address global issues affecting younger generations. However, the controversy arose due to the forum's association with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, whose leadership has been criticized by human rights activists for authoritarian practices. Over 100 individuals, including prominent human rights advocates, penned a joint letter condemning Hunt's participation, citing al-Sisi's record of human rights abuses, including arbitrary detentions and the suppression of dissent. The activists directly urged Hunt to reconsider her involvement, cautioning her against associating with a leader accused of such grave violations. While it's possible that Hunt initially joined the event with good intentions, the backlash shed light on the political implications of her participation. Despite the public outcry, Hunt proceeded with her scheduled appearance at the World Youth Forum, prompting further debate and scrutiny over her decision. Her pandemic movie. During the initial stages of the COVID-19 pandemic, the film industry ground to a halt as lockdown measures took effect. However, as restrictions eased and safety protocols were established, the industry gradually resumed production, albeit in a different landscape. One of the earliest films to emerge from this era of social distancing was How It Ends. Penned and directed by Daryl Wine and Zoe Lister-Jones, who also starred in the film, How It Ends presented a comedic take on the apocalypse. Rather than directly addressing the COVID-19 crisis, the plot revolved around a meteor hurtling towards Earth. Despite the challenges posed by the pandemic, the film boasted a star-studded ensemble, including Olivia Wilde, Charlie Day, Glenn Howerton, Colin Hanks, Fred Armisen, Logan Marshall Green, Whitney Cummings, Finn Wolfhard, and Helen Hunt. Shot predominantly outdoors and adhering to social distancing guidelines, How It Ends adopted a series of vignettes as Lister-Jones navigated empty streets during lockdown. While it aimed to provide light-hearted entertainment during a tumultuous period for the industry, its novelty and relevance were inherently tied to the circumstances of its production. Consequently, as time passed, the film's appeal diminished, unable to transcend its origins as a product of pandemic-era filmmaking. She couldn't make her Twister sequel happen. Twister, released in 1996, stands as one of Helen Hunt's most notable career achievements, raking in impressive box office numbers. The film secured the second spot among the year's highest-grossing movies, falling short only to Independence Day. Now, more than 2 decades later, whispers of a potential sequel are circulating, albeit not quite in the direction Hunt had hoped for. Following her involvement solely as an actress in the original film, Hunt envisioned a more substantial role in its sequel. Collaborating with Daveed Diggs and Rafael Casal, her co-stars from the television series Blind Spotting, Hunt co-wrote a script for Twister 2. Moreover, she harbored aspirations of directing the sequel herself. However, despite her efforts, the studio reportedly showed little interest. Hunt and Diggs suggested that the script's focus on diversity might have been a stumbling block for the studio. In an interview with Insider, Hunt expressed her vision for a sequel centered on all black and brown storm chasers, implying the studio's reluctance to pursue such a narrative. Meanwhile, a separate Twister sequel titled Twisters is currently in development, aiming for a summer 2024 release as a blockbuster. The storyline purportedly revolves around the daughter of the original film's protagonists, portrayed by Hunt and Bill Paxton. While much of the cast for Twisters has been revealed, Hunt's name remains conspicuously absent. Speculation abounds regarding her absence, with possibilities ranging from non-involvement to behind-the-scenes negotiations. As of now, the specifics surrounding Hunt's role, if any, in Twisters remain shrouded in mystery. Helen Hunt tries to lead a normal life these days. In 2024, Helen Hunt remains active, but has managed to sidestep the typical trappings of celebrity. Instead, she leads a relatively ordinary life. During an interview with The Guardian, Hunt was observed casually eating her dinner from a bowl while conversing over Zoom. Reflecting on fame, she remarked that some individuals thrive on constant excitement and attention, but that's not her style. Unlike many stars, Hunt's life isn't filled with glitzy premieres and Hollywood soirees. Instead, she finds joy in simple pleasures like watching movies at her local cinema. "I go to the movies, I'm a huge movie fan," she shared with Vulture. "I get my screeners, but I like going to the movies and buying my popcorn and watching the movies." When she's not at the theater, she's likely at home, indulging in her love for baseball. It's refreshing to see how down-to-earth Hunt's lifestyle truly is. What aspect of Helen Hunt's life resonates most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating insights into the lives of your favorite stars. Until next time, stay tuned.